We have the country, the product, the unit sold, revenue per cookie, cost per cookie, the total revenue, total cost, and then from there we're able to get our profit. And then we have the date, then we have the month name. So we have this data. It's for 2019, 2018 to 2019, and up to 700 rows of data. So this is similar to what most businesses have. For your business, you can have maybe what you have here will be the date. You can begin your own with the date. Things you may not have, you are not just supplying to customers. If it is a grocery or a retail shop, you are not supplying to wholesalers. You are actually meeting the clients who are consuming the product. So you may instead have date here, and then you have the product.
Mhm.
If you have just one type of product, then you may instead have the quantity here. You may instead have quantity. I'm just giving you some
Mm.
headlines so that you can say, okay,
Yeah.
one cup of this, 2 liters of this, and then what you have here will be the revenue. It will not be the unit, it will be the
Okay.
revenue. And then at the end of the month, you're actually going to get your profit by subtracting the cost of the raw materials, the estimated cost of labor, because you need to add the cost of labor, the estimated cost of labor,
Yeah.
and the cost of raw material. You subtract that from the total revenue, then you can be able to get your profit. And of course, you also subtract
Yeah.
the rent. If you're renting the place, you subtract the rent.
Mhm.
Yes, if you are using machines, you can have what depreciation. You can have a particular percentage that you subtract every month to keep
Yeah.
knowing that as you're using those equipment, they are depreciating. So you calculate all those things, just estimate, calculate. At the end, you know how much profit you have. So once you have the data, let's say you've collected your data for up to 1 year or 6 months, and you want to see how your business is doing. Just by looking at this, you may not really um, know exactly how the business is doing. And if you do pivot tables, yeah, they will help you. Pivot table can help you. Like come to your pivot table and see how much profit you've made. You can see the highest or the most or the customer who has bought the highest number of things from your stock or the highest quantity of product that you have sold. You can check that. But then if you do that, let's say this is June, you do that this June, and then in December you want to look at your data again. It means that you still have to come back and maybe reanalyze. Or since it's a pivot table, you may have to come back,
Mhm.
come to data. You go to refresh all. When you refresh all, the pivot table will pick the new data that has come into your master sheet. You pick the new data that has come into your master sheet
Okay.
and update this. Yeah. But the pivot tables may not really be, or things you might have new requirements, things might change, or the pivot tables may not really present or be consumable. Like if you give this table to somebody, the person may not really understand. But if you give this chart, at least just from looking at this chart, I already know that October was a peak month for this particular year, 2019.
Yeah.
So one of the ways to easily navigate through your work is to create a dashboard. Once you have your dashboard, you can easily navigate through just by clicking the year. If you want to see the year, the month, you just click. If you want to see the customers, you can just click to see the customers. If you want to see um, the product, type of product, you just click and you see the type of product. So we're going to be something like that today,
Mhm.
so that
Okay.
you can always build such a link to your master sheet. And then each time
Yeah.
you fill your master sheet, you just go to your dashboard and you take a refresh. So the very first thing you have to do to your master sheet is that you have to format your master sheet as a table. Right now, the data is in the forms of rows and columns, but it
Yeah.
is not an Excel table. So to turn this to an Excel table, I can either click anywhere inside. I come to insert and I take table, or I click anywhere inside, anywhere on my data, and I just take Control T. Control T. When I take Control T, you see automatically the data is highlighted. And Excel is asking me, where is the data for your table? Of course, it has automatically marked out the data, and I just click on OK. When I do that, it turns it into a table. And of course, you can change the way the table looks by coming up here to choose the way the table looks. And of course, to know that it's an Excel table, it's when you see these filters on your column headings. So this can automatically give you some insight by just clicking this country. You can see the total, all the countries that you've sold your products to. You sold to Canada, France, Germany. Yeah. So it gives you the unique entries. It gives you the type of cookies. So you have this already. And then, like I said last time, for you to create a dashboard, you must know how to do pivot tables. So once you have the data like this in the form of a table, the next thing you have to do is to create a pivot table. So I'll just delete this one that we had last week. I will delete, and then we create a new pivot table for our dashboard. So we'll have two more sheets, one for pivot table and one for the dashboard. And just to say that each chart that we want to create will have its own pivot table. So if we want to create 3 charts, we need to create 3 pivot tables, because we need to create a chart that shows the revenue, right? We need to create a chart that shows the country or the customers. We need to create a chart that shows the product, that's a product that has the highest sales and all that. We need to create a chart that gives us the timeline. Of course, we talk about revenue. We can have total revenue. So basically, we can have 4 pivot tables. This one is a simple dashboard that we want to build for a small business. We can have 4 pivot tables. So we can come over to insert and take pivot table, and then insert from data slash range. Of course, the data that is on our sheet. And of course, we're taking it to a new worksheet. So we just take OK. Of course, we have sheet 1. Can bring back the master sheet by holding. I click and drag it back. Not too far. Okay. So we have the master sheet. We have this sheet 1, which is pivot table 1. So we can just duplicate this one. Since we have 4, we need 4 pivot tables. We can just duplicate this one by holding the control key, click and drag. Hold the control key, click and drag. Hold the control key, click and drag. So we can name this one total revenue. We can name this one customer. We can name this one product or quantity if you have just one type of product which you sell in different quantities. Because for a coffee shop, for example, if you have this quantity, you can see the quantity that is most how do I put it, that is most requested by clients. This one is revenue per month. You can say revenue per month. Okay. So okay. So now we can start with our total revenue. Good. So here, the total revenue is simply going to be, we come up here, then we take revenue. Since it has values, we take it right here to values. So what we have here is the total revenue. Since I don't want to put it according to clients or according to product, I put it just there, total revenue. So I can come here and format it, put currency, and maybe reduce the decimal point just to 1. So the total revenue is 4,690,250. So I can create a pivot chart for this one first of all. So what we can do is so we have the master sheet, we have this, and then we can create one more sheet, and we can name this sheet dashboard. Okay, since I already have a name here called dashboard, can call this one dashboard 2, or just call it TB, which stands for dashboard. So the revenue, the total revenue here, we can insert a chart. So I can come to, remember we said when we are using pivot tables, if we come to pivot table analyze, then we insert a pivot chart. So I'll take pivot chart. I'll not go to insert. I'll not come but here to take insert chart. I'll rather come to pivot table analyze and take pivot chart. So this one, I think the best chart that we're going to use here for our total revenue should not even be a chart.
Revenue.
Yeah, it should not be a chart. It should just be figures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know if Excel has the power to do that, because in Power BI you can actually just put a figure. I'm gonna put this one. This is not what I want to put. So if you want to see it per year, you can use a pie chart, but just the total one, you don't even need a chart. It should just be a figure. It should just be a figure.
Okay.
So I think this one will just remain like this. Since we just want to put it here. Maybe if you like, we could come to insert and look for a shape. Insert, and we look for icon. Yeah, you take insert, you open icon. This is for Microsoft 2019 and Microsoft 365, where you can have icon.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have these icons. Maybe I can just search for revenue. Okay, so when I search revenue, you see these icons pop up, so we can choose the one that we want. Let's just say I like this one. Just choose this one and I take insert. So it comes here, right? When it comes here, I can take it, I can copy it to my dashboard. And maybe I just put it here. Then I merge this cell. All right, revenue. Merge all these ones. And then you say equal to. So when I say equal to, I'll come to this total revenue and I click here. And I hit the enter key, right? Yeah, so the value comes here. Let's format it as currency. Comes here. And you can put borders. Put it like that. Make it bold. Increase the font size, right? Increase the font size here. So this is total revenue. So we can put it like this. We can even, anyway, these colors we choose, we can leave this one like this. So that's our total revenue. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we come now to customer. So we have shown total revenue. We have just a figure. We have put it all. We have calculated it here, taking it to our dashboard. So the next thing we want to do is to put the customer. We want to see the customers that having the highest number of requests, or the customers that have given us the highest revenue. So in this case, we are still focused on revenue. Or if you want to say the customers that gave you the highest profit, you can take profit. But I want us to use profit in the month to see the months that had the highest profit. So for now, we can get revenue, we take it to values, and since our customer here is country, we can put it here. Customer is country, so automatically we have Canada, and then we can format this as currency. Highlight it, come to general, take currency, reduce decimal points, and then we can still sort it. Still highlighted. We can just right click and take sort. Okay, no, I don't need to highlight. I just need to click inside. Just click one of them. Click the first one, right click, and then take sort, largest to smallest. So it gives us the clients beginning with the first clients. So we see that Canada is the highest, followed by France, United States. So with this, we can plot our chart by highlighting just these ones, leaving all the total. The total was not formatted, so we can format it as currency so that everything is fine. So we can highlight these ones. We go to pivot table, analyze, insert pivot chart, and then of course this one is good. We already have this one, so we can put it like this. So you see Canada was the highest, followed by France, United States. So what we can do is just we can rename this from total to customer if you like. And then since we don't want this thing to show this type sum of revenue, I can right click it and I take remove field.
Okay.
No, hide all field buttons on the chart. I just hide all field buttons. So let me undo. You see that when I hide this one, they'll go away. So I just right click and take hide all field buttons. And then we can format this. We can format this by coming to home, choose automatic color, can put our line by right clicking, format axis. We saw this when we were creating charts. So line, solid line, maybe I can make it black. Then I come here, right click, I take format axis, color basket, solid line. Yeah, so we have something like this. And then another thing I wanted to show you is since we are dealing with countries, we are dealing with places, you can actually insert a map. So this is common in Power BI, and I think this Microsoft 365 that I have can also give us that. But we are supposed to have the latitude and longitude in your master sheet, but we don't have that.
Okay.
So this might not work, but let's just try it out. We just highlight this, we come to insert, and we take map. Click on map. Okay, so you can't create this chart type with data inside a pivot table. Please select a different chart type or copy the data outside of the pivot table. All right, so we can copy this data and paste it outside the pivot table. Format it. Can format this one. And format this one as currency. Then we try now see if it's going to work. Map. Okay, so yeah, it should not go because we have not formatted. We don't have everything that it needs. Latitude and longitude. So that's not a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can take more map charts.
All right.
More map charts. And choose this one. It just gives us the African map. But
Yeah.
it says Joe names. Anyway, this is just the default. So okay, it's coming. Normally it's supposed to give us some dots. to give us the country with the highest.
Yeah.
Yes, these countries, it should give us
Revenue.
like Canada should have the biggest dot.
Canada.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. France.
So yeah, maybe it's because we've not formatted it the way it has to be formatted. Okay, so data needed to create your chart will be sent to Bing. Okay, I accept. Since I'm I'm online, maybe
Yeah.
since Canada and France are countries that are well known. Good, yes, come right. Since these countries are well known, the Bing map can automatically get it for us. Can
Yeah.
you see?
Mm.
So we have
Yes, definitely.
we have Canada, which has a tick
Canada.
yes, the highest color. The
Yeah.
thickest, right? The thickest color. So shows that
Yeah.
Canada is the highest. We have the United States is down here. Then we have this should
Mm-hmm.
be France. Okay, this is Germany. Okay, this is France. And
Germany.
we have Germany very light up here. Very light. And then we have Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
which is also very light. All right, this one is good. Oh,
Well,
so what happened? I wanted to rename it. So we can instead call this
okay.
one country. So this works for Microsoft 365 and if you have Google, if you have Microsoft
How how
2020.
how can how can one upgrade his own to that?
365,
Only have to.
you just to
Mm-hmm.
subscribe is paid, so you have to just have a subscription. My school gave me this one I'm using.
Okay.
All right, this is very good. So
Okay.